Remember the days when you'd gather around a 1970s record player, waiting for your favorite song to drop? Some songs from that era disappeared as quickly as they arrived, yet their impact was unforgettable. Today, we're revisiting 10 short-lived gems that define the sound of 1973 to 74. Let's rediscover them together. Before we move on, I would like you to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Number 1, Playground in My Mind. Imagine being a kid in 1973 and suddenly a song begins playing that feels like it was written just for you. That's the magic of Playground in My Mind by Clint Holmes. A tune so sweet and innocent that it practically became the soundtrack for childhood nostalgia. With its iconic sing-song refrain, "My name is Michael, I got a nickel," it captured the simplicity of a time when life felt delightfully carefree. It wasn't just a song, it was a moment, a musical snapshot of an era. But as much as it dominated airwaves, Holmes struggled to make lightning strike twice. The cheery, sugary vibe that made Playground a hit also made it tough for him to branch out artistically. Listeners adored the song, but critics didn't offer the same acceptance. Even so, for many, it's a comforting reminder of the happiness and innocence of the 70s, a warm, familiar tune they still hum today. Number 2, The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia. What's more unexpected than a star from The Carol Burnett Show topping the charts with a chilling Southern Gothic ballad? That's exactly what Vicki Lawrence did in 1973 with The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia. Written by her then-husband Bobby Russell, the song tells a gripping story about betrayal, a murder trial, and deadly misunderstandings, all set against the backdrop of small-town Southern culture. The haunting, twist-filled narrative gave the tune a cinematic quality, paired perfectly with Lawrence's unexpectedly moody and compelling vocal performance. Audiences were captivated, pushing the song to number 1 on the Billboard charts, but not everyone appreciated its quirks. Critics noted a stark contrast between the subdued verses and the dramatic, orchestral chorus, describing parts of it as bland and unmoving. Still, this unevenness didn't stop the track from becoming a sensation. Though Vicki never scored another hit, her debut remains a cult classic that captures the darker, storytelling edge of the 1970s. Number 3, Dancing in the Moonlight. Picture a starry summer night in 1973. Carefree vibes fill the air, friends are laughing, and King Harvest's Dancing in the Moonlight plays softly in the background. With its effortless groove and dreamy harmonies, the song whisked listeners away to an idyllic escape. A simpler, joyful place where, as the lyrics promised, everybody's feeling warm and bright. It became a musical embodiment of freedom and positivity, qualities that struck a chord during its release. The track didn't start with King Harvest. It was first written and recorded by the lesser-known band Bafalongo, but King Harvest transformed it, crafting a polished version with upbeat rhythms and shimmering instrumentation. This shift from its more subdued origins helped skyrocket it into a hit. And yet, Dancing in the Moonlight hasn't faded. Its timeless charm keeps it alive in movies, commercials, and playlists, proving its legacy as a quintessential slice of 1970s escapism. Number 4, Brother Louie. What happens when a song tackles a subject most artists were too wary to touch in 1973? Enter Brother Louie by Stories, a cover of a track originally performed by Hot Chocolate. The song's bold lyrics tell the story of an interracial relationship, reflecting the racial tensions of the time. While this theme was controversial, it sparked conversations that pushed boundaries for pop music, bringing serious cultural shifts to the airwaves. Musically, Stories put their own spin on the original funk track, blending it with rock and early disco elements. The result was a unique sound that elevated the song's drama. Layered harmonies, a string-forward melody, and a standout guitar solo helped it climb to number 1 on the Billboard charts, where it stayed for 2 weeks. But the band's momentum stalled after this success. Despite its impact, maintaining their relevance proved impossible. Still, Brother Louie stands as both a cultural statement and a flawless 70s groove. Number 5, Dead Skunk. In 1973, Loudon Wainwright III burst onto the charts with a truly bizarre and unforgettable hit, Dead Skunk. The song's premise? The unfortunate fate of a skunk flattened in the middle of the road. With its quirky humor and offbeat charm, the track captured a rare balance between folk storytelling and gleeful irreverence. Its ridiculously catchy chorus, "Dead skunk in the middle of the road, stinking to high heaven," was impossible to resist, becoming an earworm for anyone who heard it. Audiences loved the humor, but that same playfulness boxed Wainwright into the novelty act corner. Music fans remembered him as the Dead Skunk guy, which overshadowed his deeply introspective work elsewhere. Today, Dead Skunk remains a lighthearted gem, proof of the 70s' willingness to embrace the unconventional. Number 6, Seasons in the Sun. Few songs have stirred emotions like Seasons in the Sun did in 1974. Terry Jacks adapted it from Jacques Brel's 1961 French ballad Le Moribond, which translates to The Dying Man. While Brel's darker, more biting original focused on raw farewells, Jacks reimagined it with a softer, melancholic tone. The result was a tender, bittersweet hit that felt like a wistful goodbye, capturing a reflective mood that resonated strongly with audiences of the time. The song's widespread appeal was undeniable. It dominated international charts, reaching number 1 on the US Billboard Hot 100. For Terry Jacks, the global success was a mixed blessing. Seasons in the Sun cemented his legacy, but its immense popularity overshadowed his other work. To this day, it remains an unforgettable piece of early 1970s pop history. Number 7, The Lord's Prayer. In 1974, Sister Janet Mead, an Australian nun, surprised the world with a rock-inspired version of The Lord's Prayer. The familiar biblical text, paired with electric guitars, a drum beat, and her serene yet commanding vocal delivery, was an unlikely fusion that resonated with both religious and secular audiences. This bold experiment brought traditional faith into a modern, accessible soundscape, a rare blend that became a crossover pop sensation. The song's appeal lay in its ability to connect sacred lyrics with the energy of contemporary rock, a combination that felt fresh and reflective of a changing cultural landscape. Despite its global chart success, Sister Janet Mead never sought mainstream fame. Instead, the track stands as a fascinating reflection of 1970s experimentation, bridging faith and popular culture. Number 8, Beach Baby. What if a song could instantly transport you to a dreamy California summer, even if it was written by a British band? That's exactly what Beach Baby by the First Class achieved when it hit the airwaves in 1974. With a sound drenched in nostalgia, the track's lush harmonies and sun-soaked lyrics evoked golden beaches, endless romances, and the carefree vibe of summer's prime. It was impossible to miss the Beach Boys' influence, as the song's sweeping orchestration and multi-layered production gave it that same shimmering warmth. Despite its massive success, Beach Baby quickly became a case of lightning in a bottle. The First Class struggled to recreate the magic with their follow-ups, inevitably joining the ranks of one-hit wonders. Number 9, Rock On. In 1974, David Essex delivered something entirely unexpected with Rock On. Instead of the polished pop sound dominating the charts, this track leaned into a minimalist, bass-heavy groove that felt almost hypnotic. The sparse production stripped away unnecessary layers, leaving a raw, haunting atmosphere that was both edgy and futuristic. Essex's vocals added a cool detachment, carrying an eerie, almost spoken-word quality that pulled listeners in. It was a sound unlike anything else at the time. Even today, Rock On feels like an icon of 70s innovation, a bold reminder of how sometimes less really is more. Number 10, Life is a Rock, but the Radio Rolled Me. What if a single song could sum up the entire spirit of AM radio in the early 70s? That's exactly what Reunion's Life is a Rock, but the Radio Rolled Me aimed to do. With its rapid-fire delivery and endless references to artists, songs, and pop culture, the track felt like flipping through a radio dial at breakneck speed. It wasn't just a song, it was an homage to the chaotic, eclectic playlist that defined AM radio during its heyday. Though their success stopped here, the track remains a love letter to early 70s radio culture. These one-hit wonders from 1973 to 74 aren't just songs. They're snapshots of a time when music crossed boundaries and didn't play by the rules. Each one, from the quirky to the heartfelt, reveals the sound and emotion of an era that embraced both experimentation and simplicity. As Pace magazine noted, even fleeting hits can achieve a kind of immortality, continuing to resonate with listeners decades later. So, whether you're revisiting old favorites or discovering them for the first time, take a trip back and let the music bring those memories alive. Share your favorites, and who knows, maybe you'll rediscover a hidden gem.